lovelies, hi, it's Emmy. Welcome back to another Emmy Eats. Today I'll be eating Passover. So I received a huge package of Passover treats from Mr. Y. Mr. Y, thank you so much for taking the time and expense to send me all of these wonderful Passover treats. And if you like these kind of international package tastings, be sure to subscribe for more eating. All right, let's go ahead and get started. So for those of you unfamiliar with Passover, Passover is a Jewish holiday that's celebrated in the spring, and it's a week-long festival that celebrates spring and recounts the story of Exodus in the Bible. So the first thing I'm going to try is this, and this is matzah. And this is matzah rishon, high-fiber matzah. This is unleavened bread, so it contains no yeast. So I'm going to have the matzah with this, and this is called Hashahar, and it looks like it's a chocolate spread. There it is. Besides that, great squares, and I'm going to open the chocolate as well. Looks like this leaked a little bit. Whoa, that looks gorgeous. That spread actually smells more vanilla and like donuts, and it's beautifully toasted on one side. Very nice thin crunch. All right, let's give it a taste. Itadakimasu. Rather plain tasting in terms of both texture and flavor. It reminds me a lot of some of the crisp breads that you can find up in the Nordic regions. Not bad, but definitely needs some accompaniment. All right, let's give it a taste with the Hashahar. Very sweet and slightly chocolatey, and tastes a lot like cake mixes that you can find here in the US. It has that kind of buttery flavor. Yeah, pretty good. The next time I'm going to try is this. And these are called Til Midnight Cookies. Oh, here they are. Let's give it a crack. Yeah, looks like a biscuit in the middle. It has kind of a soft crispness, and the outside is covered with a light coating of milk chocolate. And on top of that are little, I think, toffee bits or something crispy sweet bits that add an additional crunch and more sweetness. Nice. And this is a coconut cake for Passover. Wow, look at that. And it comes in this little tray. I'm gonna give it a little slice. So it looks like yellow cake and has a coating of chocolate on top and little flakes of toasted coconut. The cake is fluffy and moist and sweet. The topping is a bit like chocolate frosting. Not overly chocolatey though. Very, very coconutty. And you get a little bit of the crunch of the desiccated coconut. Delicious. Next we have another cake. And this is a chocolate chip cake. Look at that. That almost looks like a brownie. I'll take a little square of it. Here we go. The chocolate flavor is actually pretty subtle. Like the coconut cake, it's very, very moist and tastes very similar to the cakes that you could find at the supermarket, like a Little Debbie's chocolate cake or something like that. There's supposed to be chocolate chips in there. I think that's a chocolate chip right there. Let me try. The chocolate pieces are really tiny, so they're almost undiscernible among the softness of the cake, but yum. Next I have this. Mr. Y says they're most basic peanut cookies, but aren't they beautiful? Wow, they're very moist in the middle. I had expected them to be flaky. They smell a bit like halva too, a little bit like sesame seeds. All right, let's give that a taste. That's not what I expected at all. The texture is quite chewy and dense. It's almost like a chewy granola bar. It's got a definitely chew and texture to it, and moist in the middle too. And it tastes less peanutty to me and more like halva or tahini, more like sesame seeds, but pretty tasty. And these beautiful things are coconut cookies. So let's see. Yes, so inside you can see the desiccated coconut. They have kind of a soft texture. Very strong, buttery coconut smell. All right, let's give that a taste. And exactly like the coconut macaroons that we find here in the US, not macarons, macaroons. Tons and tons of desiccated coconut in there. You can feel the bite of the dried coconut in your mouth. And there's a little bit of chewiness that kind of holds everything together. I think that might be egg whites and of course sugar. These taste a little bit different. They taste a little bit buttery and taste a little bit like the Hashahar, kind of cakey flavor to them as well. Next we have these coconut-filled Passover cookies, so more coconut. And these look very different than the other cookies I had. These look more moist. They They have little chocolate drizzle on them. Oh, and they're filled with chocolate. That tastes like the inside of a Mounds or a Bounty bar. It's soft, slightly chewy, both in terms of the density and the amount of sweetness in there. This is more of a candy to me than a cookie, but delicious. Next we have these, and these look very similar to the ones I just had, and these look like they're chocolate in the middle and coconut on the outside, and these are called chocolate puffs. Let's see what's in the middle of that. Ooh, looks like it's just chocolate all the way through. Those are rich. That actually has a stronger chocolate flavor, and then it follows with the coconut. I like the fact that this is not overly sweet. It has more of the texture of a brownie, but not as dense or as sweet. And I like it for that reason. I have another cookie, baklava. I love baklava. This is unlike any baklava I've ever had. The baklava that I'm familiar with has tons and tons of layers of phyllo dough, but perhaps because that's unleavened. I don't know. This almost looks more like cornbread. Look at that. Ooh, and this one smells coconutty as well. And there's some coconut in there too. I can feel it and taste it. It's got a chewy texture and kind of sticky as well. This has a very interesting feeling that I can't quite pinpoint. I'm not really sure what it is. Maybe apricot. Yeah, my guess is going to be apricot jam. And these, Mr. Wise says, are Golden Cakes chocolate brownie. Oh, these look like little chocolate cupcakes. Oh, and this looks very similar to the chocolate cake that I had earlier, the chocolate chip cake. In the US, our brownies are really dense and fudgy and really dark and chocolatey. This has a lot more air bubbles in it and looks a lot more lighter and like a cake. This actually reminds me more of a chocolate cake, and more specifically like a chocolate sheet cake. And yeah, it has chocolate flavor, but pretty subtle and nice kind of cake-like texture. Mr. Y sent me one thing that I have to get out of the refrigerator. Just a second. And it's this. A bottle of wine. So this is a bottle of Muscat wine. It's made from Muscat grapes, and this is Teperberg. It smells great. Almost appley. Cheers, happy Passover. Whoa. It's slightly effervescent, just a little bit. It's crisp, a little bit appley. I love the slight effervescence in there. Quite sweet, but it is a dessert wine, so that shouldn't be surprising. But yeah, very nice. All right, so my gut is officially busted. I don't think I'll be able to eat sweets for a few days now. But Mr. Y, thank you so much for sending me all of these Passover treats. Not only is my belly full, but I learned a lot about Passover as well. And I hope you guys enjoy that. I hope you guys learned something. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and I shall see you in my next video. Toodaloo, take care, bye!